From being one of the most successful, yet hard-to-produce film adaptations in recent memory, to fans being furious about recent developments in its upcoming series, Dune just continues to be an overall cursed book to adapt. And this really shows with the director and main actress leaving the show. I've been super hyped for the new Dune series ever since it was first announced all the way back in 2019. The show was set to take us even deeper into the world of Frank Herbert's Dune novels. And it's being directed by none other than Denis Villeneuve himself. He's the genius behind the 2021 Dune film.
Hey, Duncan, can I trust you with something?
Yes, always, you know that.
I've been having dreams about a girl on Arrakis.
The show was going to be a prequel to the movie, exploring the world of Arrakis before the events of the film take place. The show was going to revolve around the Bene Gesserit. They're a group of women who are basically superhumans thanks to their incredible physical and mental abilities. The series would follow them as they navigate through the politics and intrigue of the Imperium, all the while pursuing their own goals that would ultimately lead them to the planet Arrakis, aka Dune. Also, we get to see other factions from the Dune universe more closely too, like House Harkonnen and House Carino. The Dune universe is rich with opportunities for storytelling in every direction, and I had such high hopes for what could potentially come out of the series, especially after Dune's film came out. It left so much more to be desired because it wasn't able to cover anything beyond the general exposition of its characters. So, the existence of the series is less of a cash grab and more of an expository necessity for the franchise. There are a lot of things that are relying on its success, but as it turns out, that success is now threatened by some creative changes taking place at the studio. Because of it, the Sisterhood's cast and crew are slowly cutting ties with the series. Word is that Shirley Henderson, who played Tula Harkonnen, and Johan Renck, the director of the first 2 episodes, have left the production. I mean, this is huge. And to make things worse, the show is now expected to go on hiatus for up to 7 months because of these changes. But it gets even worse. The departure of showrunner Diane John, who left the show before production began, reportedly led to significant script changes. And now that Henderson and Renck are out of the picture, it's like the whole production is in limbo. The series had so much potential. Everyone was really looking forward to seeing it on the screen. According to reports, Renck's directing style didn't quite match up with what HBO Max had in mind for the show. And honestly, that just adds to the uncertainty surrounding the future of the series. In a statement, HBO Max said that they were making creative changes during the show's pre-scheduled and very deliberate hiatus. All they want is to stay true to the source material and deliver the best series possible. They confirmed that Renck had completed his work on the series and would be moving on to other projects. And to top it off, they also announced that Henderson would no longer be playing the role of Tula Harkonnen. All things considered, is there something that can be said about the fact that WB hasn't completely pulled the plug on the project though? I mean, you can only assume that the studio still sees the potential of the series. Let's be honest. With people like Emily Watson, Indira Varma, and Sarah Sophie still involved, there's definitely a reason to stay hopeful. And while we're trying to stay positive right now, it'll help to look at the departures with a little bit of optimism too. These guys didn't call it quits, they actually just created a few new jobs. And the studio is probably gonna fill in a few new roles. So, who do we think is gonna be a good, if not better fit for the show? Well, that's a tough question. The roles that Shirley Henderson and Johan Renck left behind are definitely big shoes to fill. But still, there's a lot of talented actors and directors out there who could potentially step in and do a great job. For the Tula Harkonnen role, I'd want to look for someone who can bring both the cunning and the vulnerability that the character requires. Maybe someone like Eva Green or Lena Headey could be a good fit. As for the director, it's harder to say. They need someone who can balance the demands of the studio while still maintaining their artistic vision. Maybe Villeneuve himself could step in for the first 2 episodes. Or maybe they could reach out to Baron Bo Odar. He could reel in a lot of the uncanny atmosphere that the Dune saga relies on. Of course, these are just my personal suggestions, and I of course am not the only Dune fan on the planet. But I am definitely the most patient one, because oh boy, you should really hear what some of these people have to say. Well, the fans aren't exactly happy about these changes. So, I've been scouring the internet and reading through comments from fans about the recent news. These guys have some really strong opinions. Some fans are not holding back their criticism at all, saying that HBO Max is a mess and that all their executives should be fired for being incompetent. They believe that too many people involved are making decisions based on money, instead of letting the artists realize the vision of the show. Others are very disappointed about Henderson leaving, and the potential impact that the production hiatus and search for a new director and star will have on the rest of the cast. But despite these concerns, some fans are still holding out hope that the show will be a success and that the studio is committed to the project. Although, there are also fans who think that adapting the material for the screen is a huge risk. Some believe that the material is more suited for readers than viewers. They think certain elements, like the psychic space nuns in leather, will be kinda difficult to pull off. On the other end of the spectrum, some fans are willing to give the new director a chance and believe that, as long as the show still feels like Dune. Overall, it seems that fans have mixed feelings about the recent news. But one thing is for sure, and I'm sure that other fans have noticed this as well. HBO Max must be betting a lot on this series, financially and otherwise, because its failure is going to have some serious consequences. So, let's take a look at what some of these things could be. The streaming landscape is incredibly competitive, with services like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney Plus all vying for subscribers. Original content is one way that services try to stand out from the crowd and attract viewers. If the show keeps facing creative issues that dampen its appeal, it could be a blow to HBO Max's efforts to gain ground on its competitors. Also, producing a high-profile series like this is a significant investment for HBO Max. So if the situation doesn't improve, it could really impact the financial viability of the series or HBO Max's broader content strategy. If you think that's bad, there's also a fair chance that they could even lose the backers investing in them too. Losing key talent from such a high-profile series could be seen as a setback for the service, and nobody wants to stay on a sinking ship. Overall, we're gonna have to wait and see where things take us. But hey, good things come to those who wait, right? Who knows? Maybe these changes will end up being a blessing in disguise, and the series will be even better for it. With that said, that'll have to do for The Sisterhood's director and main actress leaving the show.